massive warm welcome to you from us all here at BCTV. My name is Ray Carpenter. I know I'm a bit of a new face for you tonight, but your familiar faces are here, so don't worry about it. They are all here. Amy's here with me. Your friendly face. Don't panic. It's not all change. It's not all change. It is fabulous to be with you tonight. Thanks ever so much for letting me be with you. I've been asked basically to come in and guest host for the evening by, of course, your beauty baron, Neil. Don't panic, he's here as well. He's in the cube.
He's in the cube.
He's there. We've locked him away tonight, haven't we?
I know. To be honest though, he can be found in the cube most days these days. It seems like that's where his new hiding place.
You would hope that the hat was just over the sort of little bit of the windowsill over there, wouldn't you? Really?
We did have it on it. We had it on the unit back in the day. It looked like he was living in the cupboard.
He's here. Don't worry. He's not gone anywhere. He is in there, and the whole team are here as well. We've got a few new faces for you tonight. I'm here, and I will be with you for the full 2 hours. And we've got a fantastic guest tonight, haven't we? We've got a fantastic guest, Buster Knight. Makeup artist extraordinaire is in the building.
Give us a wave, Buster.
And our gorgeous model Naomi is with him as well. We are really excited because Buster is here tonight not only to show us what wearable editorial means, but to actually explain it. So we're very excited about this.
We're going to be educated tonight.
We are.
We're going to come out of this more rounded human beings.
We are indeed, and with much more of an idea of what it means, which is great. So we're looking forward to that. We've got a really, really, really exciting night planned for you. We've also got three fantastic bloggers, haven't we, tonight?
Three fantastic bloggers to talk about tonight, and two of which are joining us on Skype.
Yeah,
so
very
there's going to be so many faces on Beauty Crowd TV tonight.
It'll be brilliant. It'll be brilliant. If you want to have a look at who is joining us on, of course, the Skype tonight, and of course the bloggers that we're featuring, you can whip over to Twitter and you can follow us at the Beauty Crowd. And you will see exactly who we are talking about on Twitter if you want to have a quick look at Beauty Crowd, of course, on Twitter. Yeah, a little bit of an exclusive.
Exactly. Everyone likes an exclusive.
We do indeed. Of course, as well, we will be talking to Buster in detail tonight for you as well, which is going to be exceptional. And we're going to learn a little bit more about him and what inspires him, and of course, who he's been working with of late, because it's very, 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 very exciting, that bit, isn't it?
It is. Quite glad to have got him after award season.
I know. We're lucky, actually. Lucky we waited for you, aren't we, really? Because otherwise we would have been...
We were on that list. We were on the list.
I know. It's all right. It's all right. We waited. We were patient. It's worth the wait. I can tell you. It really is worth the wait. Also, we're going to be... we're stepping things up a little bit this week, but more about that in a second, because you're going to cover with us today what's been going on at BCTV over the last week, aren't you?
Well, yeah, it's been one of those weeks where it's just been... just different things throwing up every day, every afternoon.
Not
quite literally throwing up, especially not when I tell you what we have been doing. But we have been having tan in a tent. We've been tanning everybody left, right and centre in BCTV.
Sounds amazing.
It was amazing. We found this amazing new product a couple of weeks ago. It is literally a tan in a tent. So it's for professionals, but it's also for if you are a tan enthusiast at home as well. So it's a inflatable tent. You plug it into the mains and it just pops up, turns into a basically a tanning igloo,
like a pod.
I'd like to call it.
Yeah, I like igloo. I like that.
And it's it's machine washable, tumble dryable. It is amazing. And we had the lovely Amanda in. She was our model, and we were joined as well by Camilla, who was our official tan in a tent extraordinaire.
Wow!
So she was working for Sunless Solutions, and she did a wonderful tan with Amanda. And what was great about it is that we were petrified about our gorgeous white ceiling and they came out unscathed. So yeah, that was the biggest event of Beauty Crowd TV this week.
Well, if you want to see the footage of that, it's on our YouTube channel, so you can see Amanda and, of course, Camilla there, and all sprays galore. Was it even? That's what I want to know.
It was beautifully even, and what was great, because I'm pretty sure you've had a spray tan as well as me in the past.
I went green.
From time to time. We've experienced the green, which is not good. But also, after a tan, you're like, okay, I've got to get home and indoors as quickly as I possibly can before anybody sees me go in my biscuity colour. Well, this one, and Amanda was sat with us for a little while afterwards, and she went such a natural, even colour. It was lovely, and I thought, oh, actually, I could pop to the shops like that and not be...
Did she look airbrushed?
Well, yeah. It was very... But, nice and easy.
I know, airbrush in a box. That's what we all want, isn't it, at the end of the day?
And Camilla was saying, which was interesting, is that she's getting a lot of people come to her now to cover varicose veins or, stretch
skin
marks
imperfections.
So she's like, it's not necessarily to go for a deep, dark, sun-kissed tan. It's more to kind of just make yourself feel a bit more confident, because I think it's one of those things when you have a tan, you're a little bit like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Got a
And
tan.
you feel a little bit more sun-kissed, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the thing about it as well. And there's always that thing about, you know, having a bit of patchiness on the ankles or the elbows or the collarbones or wrists. And there's always that danger. There's always that little telltale sign. So if you can get rid of that, then that's the bonus. So check out YouTube, and you will be able to have a look and see about tan in a tent.
Yeah, pops
Brilliant,
up, goes away, no one needs to know. No one needs to know. It's a natural tan.
It's brilliant. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Have a look at YouTube and you'll be able to get a little bit more detail about that. Okay, also, big news this week, because you're just basically one of the most generous companies I think I've ever met. Not one,
Can we give back?
not two, but three amazing competitions this week. Okay, talk us through the generosity today.
So we are changing things up. We're making it more amazing. We've got a Beauty Crowd competition.
Yeah.
So you go onto beautycrowd.com, find your product that you're absolutely in love with. There are an amazing selection on there for you to pick from. You tweet that product link along with our handle, so @BeautyCrowd.
Yep.
And then you use the hashtag BCTV Live, and then you could win that product. We'll be picking one person who tweets out a link with all of those handles on hashtags. So that's one.
It's the pick.
That
it's
is
the
one.
pick of the
I know.
products. It's
Literally,
amazing.
you say you could win. Perfect.
That's incredible.
Perfect scenario. Second competition
Yep.
is our wearable editorial look. So we're going with a theme. We've got our theme. We want to see what other people think is or class as their wearable editorial look. So we want your statement glamour look, your night out.
It is the height of glamour, isn't
fabulous,
it? It really is.
And we've already had some entries in today, and we've had some amazing ombre lips. We've had some serious smoky eyes. So that's another competition. So if you send in your wearable glamour look, either on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, use the hashtag Buster on BCTV, bringing him in, he's got his own hashtag. Use that hashtag. We will be picking the winner of our favourite wearable editorial look. Then on Friday, they will win a selection of beauty products that we think are the perfect ones that you need to create a wearable editorial look.
Fantastic.
So
and that's just
right
number 2, because there's still number 3.
Number 3.
I know.
I'm out of breath. Number 3, we're back on Twitter. You need to find Beauty Crowd, @BeautyCrowd. You need to get on there. There is the retweet tweet. You go on there, you retweet that with the link to the show tonight, and then you're going to do it. I think we're going to do it.
I've done it. That
Because
say about the prize.
That prize is £50 worth of makeup of your choice from eyeslipsface.co.uk.
It's amazing. Where is it? There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
I'm
getting there. Hang on a minute.
I do hate to be the one to break it to you, though. You're not eligible to enter.
You were going to say that.
I hate to be the one to break it to you. But unfortunately, we have to give this opportunity to our amazing viewers and fans.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm sorry to do that one to break your
heart.
No, you can always have a word with the bar and who knows.
The thing is as well is that, I could go under a little pseudonym and try and win that £50, couldn't I?
Fake Twitter. Thing is, you forget that we've got Harriet, the competition police, on it. She can see right through things.
She's watching me like this.
She's like, yeah, I got you. I got your card marked.
I've clocked you, Carpenter. I'm watching you.
I know your game.
So you've got 3 amazing competitions. Now, just in case all that information was too much for you to take in, you can just head on over to, of course, Beauty Crowd's blog, and it's all there for you. But also keep your eyes out during the show tonight, because every little advert that we have during tonight's show is all about the 3 competitions. So all the information that you need is there. And, of course, if you head on over to the blog, you'll be able to exactly see, because there's so much to take in, because there's so much to give away.
There is so much to give away. You could pick your own competition. Like, you could pick all and do one. I would always do 3.
Absolutely.
Why not?
If there's a choice.
Exactly.
If there's a choice and there's an opportunity, we're going to go for it. So there's definitely.
So if you are watching, and when we go to our little ad, get your pen, jot it down,
make a note of it, take a screen grab, whatever you need to do.
do the lock and home screen. Get that on.
Yeah, that's not like a Snapchat where it disappears, though, is it?
That's
all right.
That's all right. But yeah, if you do miss it, though, head over to beautycrowd.com/blog. All details are sitting there waiting to be looked at.
Absolutely. Now, just in case you're wondering, who is she? Very, very quickly, I just want to explain. I started to explain while I was here, and then I got sidetracked. But it's easy to do that because we're having so much fun. So, in case you're wondering what on earth I'm doing here, basically, Beauty Baron and Amy have asked me to come in, and this is the 11th episode. And if you've been watching since episode 1, you will know the amazing amount of progress. For 10 weeks, honestly, and the team, and I have witnessed how hard everybody is working here. It is incredible. Everybody's been in here since early hours of this morning, and they're still here now, and they're going to be here till the end of the show. It's a small team, it's a dedicated team. And you are. I can't get over how you're all so incredibly dedicated. But what's brilliant is that Neil and of course Amy and Joe, they've asked me to. Joe's in the background. She's not coming on screen. She's sitting over there. She's like, do not think for a second you will get me on that camera. One day.
It might have to be like a hidden camera show. We might have to create our own show and perhaps do a clamp on your car or something ridiculous.
This
like
is
that.
Beauty Baron's sister. Exactly. See, that's a hashtag in itself. Yeah. Beauty Baron's sister.
Beauty Baroness.
Oh, she's all over it. She's all
she wants it. This is the thing. It's like, no, I don't want to be on camera. I do.
Yeah, I think there's a sneaky desire there somewhere.
Exactly.
But they've asked me to come in and just host. If you watch, of course, Gems on Freeview Channel 43, of course, if you've been watching the UK's longest running dedicated jewellery channel here in the UK for the last 10 years, then you'll have seen me there for the last 6 years. I'm normally there between 3 and 7 in the afternoon, so I've been doing a lot of live television presenting. In fact, if we go back in time, it's quite scary how long I've been doing it, but specifically with live TV for the last 6 years with Gems. So, of course, if you do watch and you do love your gemstones and you love your jewellery, that's where you'll have seen me. But I'm in tonight to, basically just to see how it feels, because you're just trying to progress that little bit further again and again and again, isn't it? Because you've got a very clear vision of, you and Joe and, of course, Neil have got a very clear vision of where you want Beauty Crowd to go with the help of your amazing viewers. You were incredibly loyal. Oh, my goodness me. It's been fantastic to be watching that over the last few weeks since I've been involved with you guys.
And we're really, really excited to just have you in as a serious pro. give your take on it, and
we're
then
in the
see where we
first
go.
7 minutes.
It's been the most professional 7 minutes I've ever seen. It's been beautiful.
On that note, of course, remember that we do have an amazing 2-hour show jam-packed for you tonight here at BCTV, and we would love for you to start sending in your questions, of course, to Buster. Now, the hashtag that you need to use for tonight for your questions for Buster, can you remind me of the hashtag for Buster?
Yeah, for it is. We're sticking to the hashtag Buster on BCTV.
Buster on BCTV is your hashtag. Whether you are sending that in obviously via Twitter, or whether you're sending that in via the of course the chat room, and a massive hello to you, of course, if you are in the chat room with you tonight. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of the show for you tonight. I'm really loving being with you tonight, so thank you so much for letting me be here. And of course, we will be making sure that we pass on your questions to Buster. Now, the questions we know they're going to come in thick and fast tonight, because we've already seen a sneak peek of Buster in action today. Buster has created an amazing look. Now, I can't give too much away because it's a bit top secret, but it will be kind of broadcast for you basically in about 6 weeks' time to coincide with a very special season of events.
It is. It's one of those seasons that tends to come with maybe a tent and maybe a main stage and then maybe some other mini stage. I don't know what you'd call that kind of event, but it's
hopefully no rain.
Hopefully no rain, but often wellies. So
I hope there's no wellies, but that just might be the field and the mud.
And also that's kind of a look.
Now, we're not going for farming season here, right? It's not farming season.
It's not.
Buster is not here to create farmer brown looks, right? He's here to create.
Although there was a straw hat.
There was a straw hat
dashing about earlier,
but there wasn't a piece of hay. We were all right. So Buster has already created an amazing look on one of our fantastic models, Helena, and that will be broadcast in about 6 weeks' time. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I know that the guys here will keep you well informed if you're following on Twitter, Instagram, if you're following the blog, if you're following Beauty Crowd, and I know that's an exclusive look for e.l.f. Cosmetics.
And if you do want to take a little sneak peek, obviously the e.l.f. Cosmetics channels on Facebook, on Twitter and on Instagram Instagram are the place to look for
sneaky
little
cheeky previews. It's well
Everyone
worth the wait. And I'll tell you what else is going to be worth the wait. Worth the wait, of course, to see Buster in action when he creates your wearable editorial look with our fantastic Naomi a little bit later on in the show tonight. Okay, so we've talked a lot. We're going to talk a little bit more now. We're going to talk about, of course, the catch-up on the Would You Rather blog.
The Would You Rather blog. Now, this was something that we launched last week.
Yeah.
It was something that Harriet and I were like having a little chat about, and it was all that conundrum of, would you rather be able to paint your nails amazingly or do your eyeliner amazingly?
This is the kind of game that you play, you know, after a couple of glasses of wine, and it's a little bit more risque. But I'm liking your version of it.
We were like, okay, is this title going to cause a few hearts of flutter? So we debated with a couple of the questions. We put 10 questions together. We put it out to bloggers. We've called it the Would You Rather blogger tag, and people are loving it. We've had a load of people get in. So we've got things like the ultimate one, and I know the Baron has his own opinion on this. It's, would you rather be able to do flawless eyeliner for the rest of your life, or would you rather be able to contour like Kim Kardashian, even though she doesn't do it herself?
I was going to say, didn't she have help?
I know. We'll get Buster on the go.
It's controversial, I'm sure it is controversial.
Well, what would it be? What would it be?
I'd just like to be able to do eyes full stop.
I
used to wear glasses for such a long time that I just ignored my eyes. And then I had laser eye surgery and kind of transformed it. And all of a sudden there was not a frame around my face. And I was like, oh, there's eyes there. But that's my weakness. That's my weakness is eyes. So I think I would rather forget the contour and just breathe in.
Just be aware. Just be aware. Tongue to the roof of the mouth. It's fine. Contoured.
What would you rather? Of course, you can keep them coming in, basically. That's what it is, isn't it?
Get involved. If you haven't already gotten involved, why not? But if you do want to get involved, get onto the blog. All the questions are there. Just copy and paste it. If you do want to even submit a YouTube video with your Would You Rathers, that would be fab.
That would be exciting,
yeah,
actually.
It'd be good. A lot of beauty bloggers do. I know I've seen like the About Me blogger tag, the Makeup Bag blogger tag, so there's loads. We're just jumping on that bandwagon, so
absolutely. Yeah. You can have a look at the blog online now. We've just put that full screen for you so you can have a look at it. And of course, if you would like to be a part of that, please feel free. We'd love, love, love to know what you would rather. Now, as I mentioned earlier, and of course, as Amy went into great detail about, of course, it was about our competitions tonight. Now, as I said, we have got a specially created advert just for the 3 competitions. Well, you need it really because, you know, it's a lot to take in. With that in mind, check out what Gary and the team have created for you. Get a note, make a note, because it is essential that you enter these competitions. Welcome. Did you take a note? Did you make a note? Because there's a lot to take in that advert. There is. And of course, if you missed anything there, just go over to, of course, BCTV's blog. And Harriet is busy putting up the details of the competition. Are they already on there, Harriet, honey? All on the blog. See, she's like a machine.
An actual machine.
She is. Thank you, my lovely. So it's on the blog already for you if you want to go on there. But he's here. Let's give a big warm welcome. Look at that. Who is in the studio with us tonight? I've got to say, we have been so impressed with you today. Thank you so much for coming to join us. Travelling down from London, being with us today, and creating not a farmer look.
No, definitely not a farmer
look.
Not
a farmer look, but you've created an exclusive look, of course.
Look.
Yeah, it is, especially for e.l.f. Cosmetics. But tonight, you are going to be creating an amazing editorial look for us.
Wearable editorial.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute because I'd like your definition of that so that everybody at home who's entering the competition watching clearly knows exactly what it is that they need to be sending us photos of. But first, just tell us a little about yourself, how you got into it, where's your inspiration coming from, just who is Buster Knight?
Buster Knight.
It's such an awesome name.
We needed voiceover guy for this.
The Weird and Wonderful inspired me, really. I started out, my dad's a tattooist, so I started out with that fascination and meeting all these crazy, quirky, arty people and going to all the different shows, tattoo shows and different bits and pieces like that, and got really involved with art. I was doing fine art at school. So I really, really wanted to be into illustration and art and portraiture.
And did you find that that kind of came naturally, or is that something you had to work at, or you just had this sort of gift for it? How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a really artsy, creative house. I mean, my mum is amazing with interior design. My dad obviously tattoos and painted murals on the wall for us when we were kids. So literally
amazing.
Brought up with
You
art in our
by
blood.
It. Yeah, fantastic. So, your kind of entrance into makeup artistry, how did that come about?
It's, to be honest with you, a friend of mine has always been in makeup and she's amazing. She's absolutely insanely talented, and was like, I think you'd be amazing. I think you should get involved. And I started in retail. I started in retail makeup on a counter, part-time, while I was studying to be a school teacher, of all things. And it just came from there. It just grew and grew and grew. Every day was a different challenge. Every person I met was a different job, if you would. So it got to the point where I wanted more and to grow and to try different things and experience different things and just keep pushing on.
Do you find it exciting if you're kind of starting with, because every time you start it's like a clean canvas, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. And I think every creative person that deals with makeup in the world looks at things in a different way to everybody else, and we look at things as a starting point, a jumping off point. We gain inspiration from everywhere.
Well, I think we can tell, can't we, Ames, that just from being with Buster today that he's incredibly passionate about what he does.
Oh, 100%. I've always wondered, do you sort of look at people and think, oh, I'd love to do that?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I always
want to
think.
change that
It's like, oh, do you know, I'd do that to those eyes. Or
I've actually been on the tube after one too many glasses of wine on the way home, and I've seen someone doing their eyeliner or their lipstick, and I've jumped in and said, oh, let me help you. And it gives me the odd scary look, I'm not going to lie. But once they let go and they let me do it, it's actually been, maybe I should start a business as that, like the tube
makeup
artist.
The makeup pouncer.
Yeah, in the back of a taxi waiting for you to jump in.
That is a reality TV show waiting to happen. It started here, let's not forget about it. The idea was created right here. I wanted to just talk to you. You've kind of really kept things simple. If people want to find out more about you, I love the fact that, because some people get so carried away with different sort of names and usernames for all of their kind of the social media platforms. I love the fact that you've just kept it so simple. It's just Buster Knight. So if anybody out there who's watching tonight now wants to follow you, Instagram,
Yep, Buster Knight on Instagram.
So Twitter.
At Buster Knight on Twitter.
Facebook.
Buster Knight on Facebook.
And of course your website.
BusterKnight.com. Easy.
Beautiful.
Truth is, it's
almost
because
like
I
you
would
planned
forget.
it.
I'm so not technical, so I have to keep everything the same with the same password, so I don't forget it.
No, we can make sure. Yeah,
IT will be able to heart that.
We can make sure that we're shepherding everybody over to you to sort of make sure they can see what you've been up to and what you will be up to. Yeah, I mean, what's going to be exciting, I think, you were saying earlier, I know there is some top secret stuff that we can't talk about live, but you've got some incredibly exciting times coming up over the next few months, haven't you?
Definitely, it's a busy period for me. It's the time of year now where everything is in plan and being spoken about, and the minute it comes true, I'm busy. And a couple of things I can talk about are front covers of magazines, going on tour, doing some music videos. Yeah. There's some stuff coming up that's going to be really exciting. Weeks. Yeah, in September I'm off to the Big Apple to do some shows over there.
That's fantastic.
I've done Fashion Week here for London this season, which was absolutely incredible. So looking forward to going stateside.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it really does. It sounds like you're going to be inundated as well. Yeah. Exciting as well, because obviously a lot of, you were saying earlier that your most tweeted photograph was because, of course, you worked on The Wanted. Was it Tom for The Wanted?
Yeah, Tom and his girlfriend Kelsey for a movie premiere in Leicester Square. And it was really funny. It was really unexpected, but it was the most tweeted picture that I've had. I think it was retweeted over 2,000 times.
That is insane.
Which is, absolutely incredible.
And
he hardly wore any makeup, which is funny. He kept it really simple, as most men do. But
tell me, where's Guyliner?
No, it was Guyliner free, actually. I tried to talk him into little bit of
I
guy
don't
liner.
believe it.
But
do
we
not
were
believe
anti-guy liner that night, which was a shame, but hey ho, he still looked lovely.
And other celebs that you've been with, of course, you've just been working on the Soap Awards, of course.
Yeah, with Brooke Vincent.
Yeah.
And she looked amazing. And what I love about Brooke is she knows exactly the look that she's going for. She's on top of it. She knows what hair she wants. She knows the look with makeup. She comes with references.
Yeah.
So we just have a good chat and we get involved. And
to be fair, I mean, from when she, because obviously outside of Coronation Street, we've seen her on Celebrity Juice and that kind of stuff, and she really does know her own mind, and she's very, very confident. She comes across as really confident. And there's an amazing photograph on your website of her in this stunning yellow dress, vibrant, vivid. It kind of, you can see it reflects her personality, and yet that makeup is there's nothing too over the top. It's really, really complimentary.
that was 90s Supermodel. We went really
Did
pared
you?
back
Okay.
because the dress was so out there. It was the colour was so vibrant. And we just wanted to pair it back. You can see it now.
Fantastic
We've
dress.
tried so many looks with Brooke. She's a real game player when it comes to trying new things, and she's up for anything. So with this look, we really wanted to pare it down and just really show her natural beauty. So with the hair and makeup, we kept it really simple and really elegant.
She does look, I mean, there's an element of the kind of 1990s Cindy Crawford kind of
Exactly.
look going on there. You can really feel that. When you've been working with Roxanne Pallet as well. Now, I've got to say, that red dress that she was wearing is knockout.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. She, again, knows her body. She knows exactly what looks good. She knows what makeup looks good. And she's really not scared to experiment, which is good fun. We try some amazing looks again.
It's a
you
familiar
can see
face
her.
in that photo.
There's me, my first red carpet.
How was it? Did you enjoy it?
I was a deer in headlights.
Were
I
you?
really was. She had to pull me on, bless her, and get me going and laughing so that I didn't freeze in front of the camera.
Now, this was for the Lipsy launch of the Kardashian collection, wasn't it?
And I can only imagine how the Kardashians feel every day. I was on the red carpet for about 3 minutes and it was overwhelming.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
paparazzi-tastic.
screaming, shouting, who are you, who are you? So I was like, "Ah."
You're going to have to get used to that.
You never know. I prefer to be on the other side of the camera.
So, with that in mind, you are going to be on the other side of the camera, and you're going to be creating a wearable editorial for us all tonight.
It should have its own hashtag. I think
Yeah,
it does.
should.
It
It
does.
probably will have its own
Hashtag
hashtag.
wearable editorial.
Let's just give us your definition of it.
So editorial is everything we see in the commercial world. So whether that be on the front cover of a magazine, walking down a runway, what we see fashion houses are bringing out, so in different advertisements and stuff like that. But it's not generally wearable to everyday women. It's usually quite either over the top or completely underplayed. So with a lot of them, they will just put Vaseline on the skin to give the skin a glow, or they'll go so over the top that there's like white eyebrows. These are things that women generally wouldn't want to wear.
Not keen on the white eyebrow trend myself.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to take little elements of that kind of world, that editorial world, what we create with magazines and different shows, and we're going to bring it back to something that you guys can all create at home.
Fantastic. Okay, so that is a major part of the competition tonight. So for that competition, I'm going to just consult my paperwork just to make sure that I am giving you the right information.
Of course.
Because otherwise, I will be blamed for you not winning that competition. So bear with me a second. We are looking at, that's the one with the hashtag Buster on BCTV to enter the competition.
Correct.
And that's on all platforms, isn't it?
That's on all your platforms.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook page, and the hashtag is hashtag Buster, and that is literally the best. It does need a
there it is.
voiceover. Buster, no.
I was going to say
Buster
Buster Rhymes
Rhymes.
first.
No, Buster
I get
Rhymes.
that.
I know. I feel like I've had an age all day and I've
You've
I've
done
done
it.
it. I've done
Bust
it.
a groove, bust a move.
That's Neil's fault. I'm going to blame Neil for that.
We can all just stand up and do the running man if it makes you feel more at home.
Can do. I'll probably fall over. I'm cabled into the settee. Otherwise, I would. I hate to be a part of
She's
it.
nicked into the chair. She's part of the furniture, quite literally.
Quite literally part of the furniture.
Hashtag Buster on BCTV, and that's of course to win the surprise bundle of beauty products
I can't wait to
that
see
we're going to give away.
We'll
So
have a look at them now. We'll definitely take a look at it in a little bit.
so you're going to be working on the lovely Naomi.
I am.
And you've got about 30 minutes.
Dun, dun, dun,
I know, but
supermarket
that's,
sweep.
that's okay. That's all right. I think seeing you in action today, I think you can cover that. I think.
Most women should take about 30 minutes to do their own makeup at home in the morning, so it's my challenge to create that today.
Everybody's already said, can we take Buster home?
They should market me like a Furby.
Your own Buster today.
Oh, Buster the Furby. Now see, that's 2 ideas sprung from
go.
just here tonight alone.
You could find me at Toys R Us.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us on the sofa. We will be seeing you, of course, with the lovely Naomi very, very, very shortly indeed. Until then, don't go anywhere. We've got loads more to squeeze in for you. But here's another reminder about those competitions. Beautiful. Welcome back. Do make sure that when that advert plays, you're making a note of that. I know it's a lot to take in, isn't it?
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
We are going to be showing it a few times. So if you just want to focus on one, do that one. Next time, do the other one.
Oh, I've got to enter all three.
There's a
You've got to. It's unmissable. A very, very big welcome to you if you're just tuning in. It is lovely to have your company. Thanks ever so much for letting me join you tonight. My name's Ray. I'm joined by, and you know this lovely lady, the gorgeous Amy, of course.
We've established I'm part of the furniture. I'm not going anywhere.
She's not going anywhere. She's inbuilt now. In fact, she's anchored to this chair. Literally.
They don't even let me go home anymore. I'm here tanning, or I'm putting rollers in. Basically all I do.
There's a camp bed set up for us somewhere.
This just folds back. It's lie down.
That's
me
it.
done.
She doesn't move. She doesn't move. It is lovely, lovely, lovely to be with you tonight. And of course, we will be going straight back to Buster in a minute or two. But before then, like we mentioned at the start of the show tonight, we are focusing on 3 fantastic bloggers. And we are going to be just having a quick look at our first blogger now, aren't we?
First blogger. We've got the lovely Patricia from PXO blog.
Yeah, it is, I've got to say, just seeing her blog and just how detailed it is, but to be fair to Patricia, and we're focusing on her obviously at this moment, she's a new blogger.
She is a newbie.
She's been blogging since January, and yet she is doing incredibly at the moment, isn't she?
Phenomenally well. I mean, on blog Lovin' alone, she's already got over 400 followers, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But even the quality of her blog is amazing. Yeah. And I just think, in a matter of barely just over 2 months, she's come on so well, and her
well written as well, really accessible, you know. And I think that when obviously you spoke in depth last week about blogging and obviously about social media as well, but obviously with Patricia's blog, when you have a look at it and do have a look at it if you get a chance to, it's great accessibility for the reading, isn't it?
And that's kind of what we liked about her, is that she had she's got these outfit of the day posts, and they're also all the products are from all the clothes are from the high street. It's varied, but she puts them together so lovely. She's got a really good sense of style and a really good writing style, so she's definitely one that jumped off the page for us.
Definitely. And I think the great thing about having a look at her blog as well, because they have great inspiration for occasions there as well, and how to kind of it does look is effortless. She looks effortless, isn't she?
100%. And you do see girls like Patricia from time to time, you think she's just wearing that outfit. She's comfortable.
Would look good in a black bin bag, fair dues.
And she owns it completely. And I was like, picking up a few tips. I'm going to be, what I like, little simple things, like I'm just going to fold my denim shirt, cuff over my jacket. Just looks really, really, really nice. Yeah. So she's got fabulous style. I've already spied a bag from H&M. I'm going to be popping on over and treating myself.
Definitely. Now, obviously, Patricia hasn't just got her blog. She's also on Twitter. She is at PEEXO.
Nice. Snappy.
Yeah, P-E-E-X-O. If you want to just sort of hop on over to, of course, oh, there I am there, look, there we are, Ray Carpenter. I was tweeting her earlier. There we are. So I know, see? That's it now. You got me hooked in.
Exactly. Make sure you do follow Patricia and also get on her blog and subscribe to that blog.
Yeah, have a good read. Definitely. And again, just remember, it is a very new blog and yet feels effortless, doesn't it?
Definitely. She's gonna go places.
She is.
And she'll have the right outfit for it.
Hopefully more blogging. That's where we hope she's going to. That's where we hope she's going to. Okay, so that was, of course, P-E-E-X-O. P-E-E. I want to say P-X-O, but it just sounds a little bit wrong when I say it like that.
That's right. I take a breath. P-X-O. It's what
P-X-O. I see what you did there.
It's good, isn't it? So if you want to go now and check it out for yourself, we'll be tweeting out the link, but it is P-E-E-X-O.blogspot.com. And she is over there, hanging out, ready for readers.
It is time.
Dun, dun,
okay,
dun.
have you been sending in your questions already? This is the time to start sending them in. If you are watching this evening, then of course, this is the time that you've been waiting for. It is the editorial section, of course, where we will be bringing Buster back to you. You've already met him on the sofa, and he will be showing us his wearable editorial. In the meantime, while you are watching, get your photos into us, of course, and get your questions in. Hashtag Buster on BCTV. And we will pass on your questions to him a little bit later on. We've got 2 question and answer sessions with Buster coming up a little bit later on, but we're going straight over to our makeover section of the studio with the gorgeous Naomi.
Beautiful.
And the fabulous Buster Knight. Wearable Editorial, and please feel free to just get going.
Take it away.
Get going.
So I am going to start with one of my favourite products on the market. I was telling all of you girls about this earlier. This is a paint pot from MAC. These are amazing as eye and lip bases. They come in all different colours, but I really love it. I couldn't do an eye makeup without it, to be honest. I've gone for Painterly, which is like a soft pink tone. Just bring your chin back and look down for me, darling. And I'm literally just going to work this all over the lid, right up to brow.
The paint pots are not a professional MAC product, are they?
No, you can find them in any MAC. They do special edition colours that come out only in the pro stores from time to time for different occasions like Halloween and stuff like that. But literally they are in every MAC. You can find them in your local department store. But you can just see already that it's just taken, just open for me, darling. It's taken all of the different shades out of the lid, and it just helps for a really easy eye makeup.
It looks beautifully muted as well.
Yeah, and they're so easy.
Because I find with my eyelids, they're quite veiny. So I need that kind of coverage to kind of take that veininess out of it, just to get something, whether it's a nude, whether it's a muted feel, but that has just literally eliminated all of that.
Yeah, and do you ever find if you do something like a liquid liner, you end up with that print up here? Or like it moves halfway up the lid, your mascara can touch your eye makeup and ruin it. These literally kind of take all of those worries away, so they just make an eye makeup really, really simple. And you can use any eyeshadow on top and it just blends effortlessly. So moving on, I am now going to go to another one of my favourite products, and if I had smell-o-vision, you'd absolutely love it. This is the Chocolate Bar Palette from Too Faced, and it's actually made with cocoa powder, so it smells like chocolate. It's absolutely amazing.
Don't lick it.
No, we're not going to lick it. And I'm going to take this gold shadow here and just literally work that all over the movable part of the lid. And again, you can see this is almost like a foil colour.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost
that is nice.
A strong metallic, but without looking too sparkly or overplayed. So a lot of women struggle with sparkle. They don't know how to place it or where to put it. And this gives you that effect, but without being too hard to use.
That is lovely.
Literally all over the lid, all of the movable part. Now, obviously my wonderful model's got great eyelids. You can see this nice defined socket line here, but if you open for me. But if you do struggle with that, the best thing to do is to open the eye and just slightly pull on the corner and you'll see the shape of the eye come to life. You don't want to go any higher than where your brow bone sits. This is just the movable part.
So literally kind of up to the socket line.
Yeah, literally. You imagine the part of the eye that retracts back when you open your eyes, that's the only part that you want to cover. This was a look that we created a very similar look to on Fashion Week, which looks amazing up close, obviously, but has to look great from a distance. It is a bit of a messy look to create, so that's why I haven't started with skin. I have started with the eyes, because we can go in and we can catch any fallout and just remove it before we carry on.
I see that's where last time when I was when I first kind of got involved with Beauty Crowd and looking at the e.l.f. product with the eye shield, and I was like, I need one of those. But actually, that kind of eliminates that when you're starting with the eyes and producing, and then being able to get rid of that, sort of any sort of, whether it's, you know, eyeliner, if you're using the sort of the powdered underneath the eyelid as well.
I do it with anything, even on for a night out. It goes without saying, I always start with eyes first, because if I go for a more dramatic eye, I always think, right, I'm gonna bugger this up in my face.
Yeah, it saves all of that hassle.
But then you don't want to be wiping everything off. Yeah, you don't want to be wiping it off and then taking all the hard work of the skin out as well. So it's like, right, start with the eyes. If you do make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You can go through it. But yeah, it's a tip that I've picked up from, it was Hannah in the e.l.f. store that gave me that tip. But yeah.
And what sort of brush are you using with the eyes at the minute?
A crown brush, a very similar brush. It's a blending brush. A very similar brush would be a 217 brush from MAC, which I know all of the beauty bloggers rave about. It's one of the most popular brushes in the industry. And I've actually moved on to quite a muted tone. I think this one's called Milk Chocolate. And we're just using this. It's about 2 shades darker than the skin tone. And we're just literally going in and blending that through the socket to really soften the edge of this look. Because we're going to go quite dark with it, we really want a nice lifted brow. We don't want the brow to sit low. So I'm literally just almost back and forthing right into the corner of the eye, right out to the corner. We're not winging it out. We're keeping it really, really soft and simple. So when she opens her eyes, you can still see that brow bone is lifted and fresh.
We're just going to show the palette live. Neil's been able, Beauty Baron has been able to work his magic, and we're just going to bring an image of that live so that everybody at home can see what it is that you're using. So it's the chocolate bar we're seeing here, of course, and we're seeing it's by a brand called Too Faced, yeah?
Too Faced, yeah.
So of course you can have a look online. Neil, what did you say the
makeupandbeautyblog.com.
Makeupandbeautyblog.com. So if you want to have a look, there we go. Thanks, honey. And you can have a look and, of course, see the exact product that Buster is using. Are you still? So you've changed brushes.
Yep. So I'm back to my eyeshadow brush. I've moved back. I try and do a makeup with as little brushes as I can, just to remember where I'm going. And I'm now going into. It's called Deep Chocolate. It's a darker colour, and I'm just going to start to etch out the shape of the inner corner of the eye. So this is where the look really starts to take shape, because it's almost quite an editorial look. You wouldn't necessarily wear dark in the corner of your eye every day, because it can change the shape of the eye, but obviously for editorial we play around with these things.
You do naturally see people go to light at the corner, in the inner corners, don't you? So
and dark on the outer corner, exactly. Yeah. But what we want to do is really make the eye pop. And this look, actually, on the runway when we created it, was quite incredible. It literally just took over. You could see it from a mile off. So we're going to create a softer version of that today. Now, I'm not smoking. I'm not doing anything too heavy. I'm literally just packing the colour on right now, and then I'm going to go in and soften.
That gold is looking gorgeous.
You can see it from a distance. It's just glistening rather than overpowering, isn't it?
And then I'm going to go back to my blending brush, exactly the same brush as I used before. It's still got the shadow on it from before. And I'm literally going to go back in and just make sure that those edges are really soft. We don't want this to be harsh and heavy. We want it to be soft and smoky. So when she opens her eyes, you can really see that gold come forward.
That's gorgeous.
This is great for a night out.
I love that gold. I do love a gold eyeshadow.
I think your skin tone, it doesn't matter what skin tone you've got, it just lends itself so well. It can be so striking on black skin, it can be really, really powerful on ivory skin. I mean, you've got really beautiful ivory skin. It would be really strong.
I'd also find as well, it does warm your complexion a little bit, because it's a soft colour, so it's very, like, you can build it. It's very comlementary, and it works for most eye colours, I find.
Well, it looks fantastic on Naomi.
It does. Really wearable.
You are right, she's got great lids, isn't she?
She's got great lids. Quote in the office today, Naomi's got great sockets.
But you never thought anybody would say that about you, Naomi, did you?
It's a compliment to take.
She wears them well.
She wears her lids well.
Naomi, would you normally go eyeshadow, or do you normally, you're always a liner girl, aren't you?
Always, just out of ease. It's like I've got so used to doing it, and it's just so simple to do in the days. But eyeshadow, I should put on more, because it can make an evening look so much more dramatic, so much nicer. When you know how to do it, that's the problem. Don't necessarily, I'm going to have to watch this back.
Take some notes.
Brilliant.
Or just kidnap Buster.
Or I'm going to
Get
be
the
one of
Furby.
a few by the signs of
The
it.
Furby.
Get the Buster Furby.
So, changing brush. I'm now using like a smudge brush, a really detailed brush. Look up for me. And we're going to match with that chocolate brown, and we're going to come all the way under. Now again, this is something that a lot of women fear, because going under the eye can, again, change the shape of the eye. It can make it look a lot more dramatic. But I mean, on Fashion Week, we brought it right underneath. This is still quite tame.
Are you loading the brush, or is it how,
I'm literally,
how much
yeah,
product
I'm
do you actually
touching the
put in
brush with each. I want this to be really packed on, so I don't want to wash it out too much. So I literally just touch the end of my brush into the palette. There's nothing on the side, it's all on the tip. And we're just loading that. We're joining the outer corner, and we're just bringing that all the way back through the lash line. Not as far in as the inner corner, because that will look a little bit too heavy.
This is kind of a question from me, but how do you get powdered eyeshadow under the eye to stay for longer?
To stay
I
put,
find it just goes off walking.
it depends on the person. It depends on each person, but if you do struggle with it staying under the eye, use a little bit of one of those paint pots under the lashes, blend them under the eye, and then put your shadow on. It will make the colour a lot more poppy, and it will keep it on all day.
Those is something to hold on to, I guess.
Yeah, I really can't say enough good things about that product.
Do you find, sorry, go on, Amy.
No,
I was just going to say, do you find when you're working with your celebrity clients, do you find that they come to you with a brief, with a very clear picture of what they want, or do you find that you've got to come up with the suggestions when you've kind of seen the look that they're trying to create with the dress? Or?
Completely yes or no. You get hit, swings and roundabouts. You get clients like Brooke Vincent, who knows what she likes. She's willing to take direction. She's willing to get opinions, but she comes with an idea. And then other clients really put it in the hands of the makeup artist. You know, they really know, we know what we're talking about, so they put it into our hands and let us go to town. And
what's your preference?
I don't mind. I'm really quite easy. I quite like kind of working 50-50. So I've got this idea in my head, I can make this work, and then they merge together.
Okay, cool.
And then when you see it on the red carpet, it's quite magical. So I'm now using Master Drama Kohl Liner from Maybelline, which is a really waxy texture. It is waterproof, so it will last. And just close for me. And I'm literally, really roughly rubbing this through the lash line. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, because we are going to go in and blend. Again, using the same brush. It's still got a little bit of product on the bottom, but I'm not going to reload it. And we're just going to go in, and we're going to literally work that back and forth and bring a little bit of that back into the outside corner, so that when my lovely model opens, ta-da, you've got like almost a little bit of a 60s look. Look up for me. And we're going to run that under the lashes, about a quarter of the way, same brush. Now I don't know if you watched any fashion shows throughout Fashion Week all over the world, but 60s was a big trend. It was around, it wasn't going away. So all looks, look over there for me, all looks did kind of hint back to that 60s era, even if they just played with colours that were popular in the 60s, like pastel blue. You can really see that it was around. Just close for me.
We were talking a lot about pastel blue like a couple of weeks ago, and it is one of those that's sneaking its way back in.
It is amazing when you start thinking about it, because when you start thinking about, you know, I remember, you know, very, very young age, you know, it was kind of blue eyeshadow, that's really all you could choose, and now and now it's back again, and it's in all sorts of shimmering shades, from azure to lagoon to kind of turquoises to regal
like the
blues.
whole blue spectrum is back, and that's the thing. I remember probably one of the first eyeshadows I think I ever used was a blue eyeshadow. I think I just like, you know, had a little play around. But I had a PE teacher that was obsessed with blue eyeshadow and blue eyeliner, and that's all I think of.
That was my next thing. Like, where do we stand on the blue eyeliner, Buster?
Blue eyeliner is back. It's back in a big way.
It's back or it's bad?
No, it's back in a big
back.
way. Again, it just all depends how it's used. I really think, like, if you look at some of these beauty bloggers, they all play with any products. So it's a real great way to try these funky colours and see how they use it. You won't see so many of those pop kind of vibrant things on the red carpet because they are kind of risky. They can be amazing or they can be fail. So if you do want to kind of play with colours and have a real play and kind of experience different things, go onto the beauty bloggers' websites, find like PXO, see what she would do with a blue eyeshadow, because I'm sure it would be quite amazing.
That's the thing. I think you can kind of take inspiration from some of the bloggers. That's it.
With the web now,
clothes
1980s, we didn't have the web. We just had, you know, the image that was
Send a
on the number 7
postcard
counter in Boots. But now at least,
I found a lovely blue
now
eyeshadow.
there is, you know, you do have, you know, such a huge access to such an amazing amount of knowledge and a lot of tips and hints as well.
Exactly.
So I'm just now, I'm basically picking the pencil up with my brush and just working that back over the dark shadow that we created, just to create a little bit more punch and a little bit more pop. We really want this gold to really kind of sing through. So we're just building and building. So when she opens, we've just got a real intense dark eye with a pop of gold.
That's looking amazing already.
I'm going to go back to my blending brush. Look down for me. I've used one blending brush throughout this whole look. I'm not changing brushes too much.
Now, I know that obviously we've been distracting you while you've been doing this, but you're basically creating a fantastic, and I know you're starting with the eyes, but you're creating that. We're looking at, 12 minutes, and you've been able to create something, you know, really quite impressive, and that's with us distracting.
Exactly. That's throwing spanners left, right and centre.
And do you know what? It shouldn't take too long to do this eye. It should be something that should only take 15 minutes to create, and then once you pop your lashes on, maybe 17 minutes. I'm now taking, this is from e.l.f, this is called Celebrity. It's one of the mineral shimmer shadows, and it is absolutely amazing. You can see that colour payoff as soon as I pop it onto the lid. I'm literally just dusting it on, and when I move my lovely model's head around, look down for me. When she moves in the light, you can see that it just collects sparkle. It's
Yeah, it does
amazing.
look great, doesn't it?
Catches the light, incredible. So moving on very swiftly, we're going to pop on some mascara and some lashes. So I'm going to use Lash Control Mascara. This is quite amazing. I found out about this through Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, Scott Barnes, watching his tutorials. You squeeze the product inside, so you never end up with too many clumps on your brush. Look down for me.
Harriet and I were looking at this product a little while back, and we were trying to hunt it down in the UK, and we were only able to find it on Amazon. Where do you get that one from?
I was lucky enough, they sent me some, but you can buy them online, lashcontrol.com. You will have to pay for a P&P, but it is definitely worth it. And it's also, for artists, it's amazing because when you squeeze this, it catches bacteria because you're not pumping the brush. It's bacteria free, it's antibacterial. So you can use the wand on your client and not have to worry about lots of disposable wands. So if you are in a rush,
fantastic. We're just going to have a look at that online, actually. If you don't want to have to troll like the lovely Amy and the fab Harriet have, they trolled and only found it on Amazon. Thank goodness Buster knows exactly where we need to go. We just need to go to lashcontrol.com. The website's live for you now, so you can have a look on there and, of course, have just see the and is this an essential product for you, Buster?
The mascara.
For the mascara?
Yeah, absolutely love it. It's the best mascara I've found for a while. In terms of what it does, it's quite a simple mascara. It just creates like a soft kind of, you can see a soft curled lash. But actually, in terms of being a makeup artist and being in a rush, it's amazing. I'm now moving on to false eyelashes. I'm using number 32s from Art Deco. Look down for me. These are my lashes of choice, purely because you can't see the band, so they're really easy to apply to yourself or to somebody else. And they just create a little bit of drama, but without being too dramatic and too over the top. Some lashes can look a little bit, dare I say, drag queeny.
You can say it.
I like a bit of drag queen makeup, but I'm sure most women don't want to look like drag queens on their way out the door. So this is something, if you can see, they create an amazing drama.
Oh, wow.
But without lots of effort.
It's like, can we say wearable drama?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, hashtag wearable drama.
Asking for it, isn't it?
Hashtag right there.
They
you
look
can
fab.
see they take like a second to put on. Look down for me. And what I love about these lashes is that you can actually put mascara on top of them. They don't clump, and you can use them again and again. I think they say something like 7 wears out of each pair, and they're about 12 quid. So they really do hold their own.
Would you always say to invest in a pair of lashes rather than kind of go cheap and then end up them pinging off?
Yeah, I mean, there are lashes out there that are like 30 quid, which I think are a little bit pricey, so they're a treat. But I think about 10 to 12 pounds, like you can get Eyeliner ones, you can get the Art Deco ones, and they do generally last a bit longer, and you can see they create an amazing drama. So that being said, before I pop any more mascara on, I'm going to let my glue set. I'm going to use a little bit of Bioderma cleanser. We were talking about this earlier. This is my favourite cleanser in the world. It's been my saviour. Literally, it cleanses the skin, but it doesn't strip the skin of any of its oils, so it just keeps the skin really hydrated and fresh.
What was that, Bioderm?
Bioderma is the brand, and it's very, very French. It's Solution Micellaire. I can't translate that into English, but it is amazing, and it's about £12. You can find it online. It really does change the game. I'm now going to use a little bit of primer, Studio 10. Studio 10 is a really, really new brand that's all about contouring and about lifting the skin and giving the skin kind of like Botox, dare we say, with a product. And it really does plump, but I really love their primer because you can see it's got a real glow to it. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm just using this in the centre of the face just to create a natural sheen before we pop any foundation.
One of the questions that's come through, isn't it, about how to create that kind of look without looking overly greasy and too over shiny.
Getting a glow is always the questions that we get through, and it's like, when does a glow go to a shine, and how do you get that balance?
It's a fine line of where to shine. Another hashtag. Literally, you just want to shine in the areas where the light would catch. Centre of the face, cheekbone, chin. If you start to shine around this area too much, it starts to look sweaty. Which
so top lip is a no-go then?
Yeah, we don't want a shiny top lip.
Layer on the radiance on the top lip. It's like, no, you can have a funny look, a few funny looks.
So I've changed to foundation brush. This, I'm not going to talk about it too much and make everyone sad. It's a Sephora brush that you can only get in the States, which is a shame. You can get domed foundation brushes. e.l.f. make one, which is quite amazing, and you can get right into all of the little corners and really make sure that the skin looks really, really natural. I am using my foundation of choice. This is Super Cover foundation. It is in my own palette. I've put it in a Japanesque palette, but you can find it at supercover.co.uk, and it is literally the best foundation I think I've ever used.
Why is that? Why would you say it is?
It's a real malleable cover. You can make it stronger. You can see that we've got a little bit of rosiness here that we're dealing with, but literally a tiny little bit of foundation and it's completely gone. It's also made for sensitive skin, so it's great for rosacea, it's great for any kind of problematic skin, it's great for acne sufferers because there are no synthetic oils in there or anything that are going to overload the skin. And it lasts, it's completely sweat proof, so for red carpets or for different events, even if you're just going to go to the club, it's such an amazing foundation and concealer in one.
Well, we're going to have a quick look at it online, actually. Neil's going to bring that website up for you. So Super Cover, and of course you can have, can you just, what was the name of the...
Bioderma?
What was the name of your, of the foundation that you're using?
Super Cover. It's just literally called the Corrector.
The Corrector, there we go. So you have a look on their website and you'll be able to see, of course, what Buster's using on our lovely Naomi. Is it quite easy to build upon that foundation?
100%.
Yeah.
They make an amazing hydrating spray, so if you want it to look like a tinted moisturiser, if you're not a big coverage fan from day to day, you can spritz the skin with this product first, and it allows it to be a lot more liquidy, a lot more moisture-full, should we say. And if you put it on with your fingers again, you can lighten it right up and almost make it look like a tinted moisturiser. I'm going for a medium coverage, but I am building, just because we are a little bit rosier, we want to get rid of all of that kind of rosy tone to the skin and just create a lovely flawless porcelain complexion before we go on to add in.
That is probably one of the questions that I think we receive more than anything else. So with covering up any redness in the skin, what are your top tips for?
Top tips for covering redness. Go for a little bit more complexion. Don't go for a colour, the lightest colour in the palette, because what will happen is you'll just send that red grey. Go for a colour that will counteract redness, so it's got a little bit more peach to it, but it doesn't change your skin tone too much. You don't want a nice warm face and a really light body. You can see here that I've gone for a slightly warmer colour than the complexion, but it's not completely different to the neck and to the décolleté. And I am going to put a little bit more light into the skin with some highlight, which I'm going to move on to right now.
And if you want to send in your questions, of course, to Buster, please continue to do that. We've got quite a few coming in. They are stacking up. There are 2 question answer sessions with Buster, so don't panic if we haven't addressed your question yet. It will be, I'm sure. We'll try and get through all of them.
We'll try.
But if you do want to send in your questions, of course, just make sure that you put hashtag Buster on BCTV, and they will come through to us, and we'll be addressing those in the question and answer session, won't we?
We will, in just a bit later on. We do have a comment from Faye in the social stream just saying that she's loving the eye work and she's going to be trying it. So.
Fabulous.
Yay, I want to see it, Faye. Hashtag me. We want to see all of the creations.
Yeah, if you do give it a go tonight, by the way, that sounds a bit off, but you know what I mean. If you're giving the makeup look a go tonight, nothing else. That's when we want to see your photos. Not about anything else. If you want to send in your photographs of giving the makeup a go, we would love to see them. We've had a few selfies in already tonight, haven't we?
We've had our wearable editorial selfies come in. We can take a little look at them if we've got them on the screen loaded. But yeah, don't forget, if you are sending yours in, use the hashtag Buster on BCTV so we can see them. We will be picking one of the winners to receive a beautiful beauty.
Yeah, it's part of the competition. So, do make sure that we've got a few on Twitter coming through, haven't we? So we've had Sarah coming in, and she's saying this is an e.l.f. editorial.
Yeah,
so she's taking a little selfie. She looks great eyebrows,
gorgeous
great
eyebrows.
I'm a bit of an eyebrow freak, I've got to say. You'll have all met Han. There's the lovely Sarah there. Fantastic eyebrows there, Sarah. I have overplucked my eyebrows since I was 11 years old. I'm now 36. I have plucked and I have plucked and I have plucked. Han, of course, obviously down in the e.l.f. store. She is on a mission to stop me from plucking. So I'm in a pluck-free zone at this moment in time. And I can tell you right now, pluck-free zone and me, we don't go together. Every morning I'm in the mirror and I'm like, I need to.
It's a difficult
It is. But they are growing, Han. If you're watching tonight, my love, they are growing, and I will be there to see you very, very soon for a reshape and a redo. So just ignore the brows. Let's not focus on any brows.
They're looking fabulous.
You know when you've got stragglers.
I know.
I'm not allowed to pluck them.
No, I've done the same because I had my back away in the day. I had my eyebrows threaded and they left me with, no word of a lie, one strand thickness.
I would have cried.
I looked surprised at everything. Everything. I was like, walked into a shop. But they were dreadful, and I sought the attention of a local beauty therapist, and she made me give her my tweezers. I had to go round, give her my tweezers and promise I wouldn't pluck my eyebrows. And then I went for a block fringe. Luckily, I worked a fringe for the time I had it. So I was just like, couldn't see for about 6 months. But I had my fringe down. But yeah, it's worth it. You'll get there.
I'm on a mission. Don't worry about it.
The other side
Sarah,
is beautifully.
Sorry, sweetheart. Sarah, thank you for sending in your tweet. And I know that we've got a couple more selfies coming in. If you want to send in your wearable editorial look to us, please make sure you put, so we can make sure that we find you and you can be entered into the competition. Please make sure you put down hashtag Buster on BCTV. Speaking of which, you're still at it.
I'm back. So we've just put in a little bit of light into the centre of the face with a lighter colour, same Supercover, and I've just set that down with a light powder again from Supercover. I'm now moving on to another brand again, Studio 10. I spoke about them before. They are quite amazing. They're all about contouring, and you can see the contour colour is really not too brown. It's quite grey, which is a really natural shadow colour. I'm going to use one of their brushes as well and just add a little bit of depth into the skin. What I find is a lot of women use a stronger coverage foundation but then wonder why their skin doesn't look like skin anymore, or like they don't look like themselves. And it's because natural skin doesn't have one shade. It has many different shadows, many different contours. Some of them we like, some of them we don't. So we hide the ones that we don't and we emphasize the ones that we do. And that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just literally taking this colour through the hairline and onto the temple. So you can see it's just giving definition back to the face. And then one of the favourites, the Kim Kardashian, is underneath the cheekbone. This creates a natural shadow and just allows the cheekbone to really kind of sit up higher and give a real definition.
Now, the product that Buster's using at the moment is the Studio 10 Contour and Brush. We're going to bring that live for you now so you get a chance to see, of course, where you can access that. Oh, 10 years younger, yes, please. There's the Studio 10 website, studio10beauty.com, if you want to have a look at, of course, the product that Buster is using tonight. Maybe if you do use that and you want to blog, then that would be fantastic. We'd love to take him up on that, wouldn't we?
Definitely, and make sure if you do, share it with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do share. And maybe you saw it here first, so that's something to note about as well. When you're contouring,
yes,
the Kim Kardashian way, is this, when you're talking about then, would you contour anybody underneath the cheekbones?
Yes, to be honest with you, everybody's got a cheekbone and it's about making the most. If you've naturally got a really hollow cheekbone here, then just think about lifting the shadow up a little bit. You don't want to drop it down anymore and making the face look gaunt, but a little bit of shadow there just really emphasizes what you've naturally got and gives the skin a real natural lift. I mean, look, you can see the cheekbones are really lifted and fresh.
You can see a difference straight away.
Definitely.
I'm using a blusher by Laura Mercier called Barely Pink. And just because we are working with a slightly softer skin tone, I don't want to go heavy with bronzer. I'm not actually going to use any bronzer. I'm just going to use a little bit of that blusher through the hairline, just to kind of uniform the makeup together. And I'm actually going to take a little bit with the other end of the brush and just kind of warm that onto the complexion again, just to add a little glow and keep everything uniformed. Moving on as well to eyebrows. I know that someone was speaking about eyebrows earlier, and they really are a big thing at the moment. And you can see not everybody's eyebrows are dead the same, so we want to create the arch. Generally, most people are arched on one side and not the other. So I'm using a Dior pencil. It comes in one colour. It couldn't get any easier. And I'm going to start halfway through the brow, follow the natural arch, and just almost create like wispy hair shapes.
I know we've had conversations about brows before, and the saying that comes out is that brows are sisters, not twins.
Yeah, that's such a good saying.
Try not to match them to one another.
Yeah, I mean, try and match them as much as you can, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Sometimes if they're too symmetrical, they almost look a little bit robotic.
Yeah.
And like they don't move.
You end up looking too serious.
Yeah, or you end up looking like you're completely shocked all the time.
I'm glued to this right now. This is where I need my most help. So I am glued right now. Did you say Dior's only doing it in that pen is just in the one pen?
It's called Universal. It comes in one colour, and it's really soft, almost blonde. And then when you go thicker, it goes darker. So it works for any hair type.
I need to get me one of
any
those.
hair colour. Now my trick with brows are that I never take the pencil right into the inner corner, because what can happen is you get that strong, almost kind of too chiseled brow, which isn't natural. And in photographs for something like a red carpet or an event, it's going to overpower the eye, and we don't want to do that with this look. We want the brow to be quite soft. So I've literally taken a brush from MAC. It's a 212 brush, and I'm just softening the excess pencil that's through the brow towards the nose. The brow should never end any closer than the inside corner of the eye. And you can see the difference in the brows, what that does. It really shapes the face.
Really does. Oh, it's so, honestly, sometimes, I mean, I've only because I'm obsessed with eyebrows at this moment in time. I don't think I've ever been as obsessed with eyebrows. I've always said if I was ever on a desert island, I'd need an eyebrow pencil. I don't know why, because I'd be there by myself, but still, I would need the eyebrow pencil. But in the last 6 weeks, the distinction that when somebody's eyebrows are dramatically transformed or they've been done so well, it's almost as good as a facelift.
100%.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
100%. Brows really do shape the face and frame the face. And I find if they're too heavy, it can make the face look a lot more angry and angular. And if they're too soft, it can almost make the face look quite sad, which we don't like.
We don't want anybody
We like happy faces.
'Cause I'm happy. That's what we want.
Yes, we do. Really like happy
Obviously,
faces.
we've been distracting you, and obviously when somebody else is doing their makeup at home, we're looking at about, we've been here now for about half an hour, but normally this would, without kind of interjection, for somebody kind of who is at home, would you say kind of 20 minutes, half an hour is what's needed really to maximise this look?
20 minutes, half an hour for a dramatic look should be long enough. If you're taking a lot longer than that, then maybe you should drop a step out. It shouldn't be too, a look like this doesn't need to be too thought about. You kind of just really need to go for it with the eyes. You can always clean up the excess underneath, and then the skin, once you know your own face, it should take you 15 minutes.
So the pencil that you're using now?
This is Laura Mercier Hazelnut Tea. It's a little bit darker than most women's lip tone, but I quite like that because it gives a real definition to the lip.
Naomi's got a great Cupid's bow though, hasn't she?
Yeah, well, I just
got
softened
a
it.
Great Cupid's bow.
I softened the Cupid's bow slightly. Now using a Laura Mercier, this is actually a concealer brush, and I'm going to blend through the lip liner. I've actually softened the Cupid's bow because I don't want this lip to be too harsh and heavy. I want it to be quite soft because it's all about the eyes.
Don't want to compete.
I'm actually using an e.l.f. lipstick in, I believe it's called Party in the Buff.
Yeah.
Party in the Nude? Party in the Buff?
Party in the Buff, I know.
It's such a good nude. It is the kind of nude that suits everyone. And I'm just literally going to soften that into that liner.
Oh, lovely.
It's like a peachy nude.
Yeah,
And
really
even if you have got a rosier complexion, it still doesn't overpower. It's not too orange. It's just the right shade of nude.
That does look very 60s, doesn't it? It has definitely got that.
Especially with a beehive.
Feels it. You gotta have a beehive. I'm partial to a good beehive.
A little bit of backcombing.
Backcomb. I can't help it. I've got a problem. I need to go to beehive rehab.
And my last step before, I'm going to do one more coat of mascara because I'm a mascara fiend. But this is a Smashbox lip gloss in Illume. Which again is a really soft gloss, but it's the kind of gloss that just makes a lipstick pop without overshadowing it or overpowering the colour.
Yeah, some of the shots on your website where you've lips are incredibly strong in some of the photographs on your website and are really almost like liquid glass, you know, the effect that you've created there. Now, obviously, that's not necessarily always going to be, and what you're dealing with here, of course, is the wearable editorial. But so what would you say, just to achieve that, is just applying that little bit of, would you apply it all over the gloss?
Yeah, I mean, it can be quite difficult to wear yet again. I would go for something clear or something with a little bit of sparkle. Just run it into the centre of the lip. And that is literally going to give you that glassy effect, but without being completely unwearable. Gloss can be so uncomfortable to wear all over the lip because it can get sticky. But what I will say about this gloss that I've tried, this Smashbox gloss, is that it doesn't get too sticky. It doesn't get over the top or overpowering, you can tell, right? And it tastes nice too. Look up for me.
What about the bleed sometimes that you'd get by when you're wearing a gloss?
Again, like on someone with a lovely, nice, strong lip shape like this, then they're fine. But if you do struggle, a little bit of one of those paint pots again, or a clear pencil, a little bit of lip primer. There's so many different products out there to stop that from happening that it shouldn't be a problem anymore.
Cool.
Just hold it in place.
Just another thing that you might want to do if you're struggling with a glow is take a highlighter. Again, this is Too Faced Candlelight. And this just adds that extra iridescent glow, but it's not something that you have to do. It's just something that I like to finish with. And finish on the chest. And that is our wearable editorial look.
What a fantastic
Absolutely
look.
gorgeous.
Thank you so much, Besta.
More than welcome. Thank you.
Naomi, how do you feel?
Oh, I'm yet to see myself.
I know. Do you have a look at the monitor?
Take a little look.
Have a look at the monitor.
Yeah, the eyes are amazing.
We're not alone in loving the look tonight. There's quite a lot of people on the social stream.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out now.
Yay!
Goodbye.
We've already got Kenya on the social stream. She's saying that she's got lip envy,
Oh,
which
there
is
we
amazing.
go. Brilliant.
And also Delilah is saying that you are truly red carpet ready. So that's it now, Nick. You need to take her to a premiere tonight.
Find her a dress and a pair of heels, off we go.
Off we go.
Fantastic, fantastic. And of course, don't panic, because if you're thinking to yourself, I've put in a question, why haven't we addressed it? Buster will be with us, of course, for 2 question and answer sessions very, very, very soon indeed. Now, this is a jam-packed show. I'm not being funny. Fantastic, fantastic wearable editorial. You're sending in your selfies as well. Don't forget that's Buster Night on BCTV. Sort of hashtag in front of that if you want us to make sure that we do get access to your, of course, your selfies for the wearable editorial competition. Also, of course, we've already had a look at PEEXO. Just trying to make sure I'm saying that correctly. We've already had a look at one blog tonight, but we will be Skyping with 2 bloggers very, very, very soon tonight, of course, and we will be doing that. Well, first, we're going to be Skyping with Jess, aren't we? Jessica.
Jess,
and Jessica, of course, her Twitter handle is @FashBeautyLife. We'll give you all of those details anyway while we're Skyping with her, and we're going to be Skyping with Lana as well a little bit later on. But in the meantime, there are 3 competitions tonight. There are. Take a look at this. It is lovely, lovely, lovely to be with you tonight. Fantastic wearable editorial with Buster, and of course loads more still to come with questions with him. But we've still got 2 bloggers to talk with tonight. So jam-packed,
so much to get through tonight. Yeah, we have, as you mentioned, we've got Jess joining us, and we've also got Lana, who is our blogger of the week.
Yeah, we're looking forward.
Title. But also tonight we are. It is a Wednesday. We are normally here on a Thursday.
We are.
So we're mixing it up. Obviously, the bloggers amongst us will know that the BeBlogger hashtag is the biggest one of a Wednesday night. They wait for it all week and it's there. The lovely Harriet is in the Twitter stream at the moment with the BeBlogger hashtag. She is talking to all you guys and getting your information and blogs over to us as well. So we're going to have a jam-packed Thursday, I think.
Absolutely,
all of the amazing ones. So if you do want to have a chat with Harriet, she's going to be there this evening as well. But if you are watching and Twittering, make sure you're spreading the word about BCTV.
Yeah, make sure, absolutely. Speaking of blogging, of course, we've got 2 bloggers that we will be speaking to tonight. We're going to be Skyping with them. And the first we're going to be Skyping with is Jess, who has been blogging since 2011, and she is with us on Skype tonight. A very, very big hello to you, Jess. Are you with us tonight?
How are you?
We're very, very well. Thanks ever so much for tuning in tonight. It is lovely, lovely, lovely to have you with us. We've been looking at obviously your blog, and you've been very, very busy and very active since you started it in 2011. Tell us a little bit about why you wanted to start a blog.
I've always loved fashion and beauty, and I just wanted a platform to express that because I was doing a business course and I was a little bit bored because it wasn't creative. So I was following a lot of my favourite bloggers like Lily Melrose, Shirley from Shirley Niang and Patricia Bright, and I was like, oh, I want to try this as well. So it kind of like snowballed, and I've been doing a lot of stuff since 2011. So yeah, I really love it.
It certainly looks like you've been busy. I'm really interested to hear about the Fash Beauty Life community on Twitter as well. Tell me what you've been doing with that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so I wanted a community for like not only like fashion and beauty blogs, but also lifestyle bloggers, so we could talk about everything to do with blogging. So I created the FBL chat on Twitter every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So I get people to talk about different blogging topics, and it's been really great. We've been running for 2 years at the moment, and it's just good to like get the small bloggers knowing about key blogging topics and get them to meet up with people and give them opportunities that they wouldn't normally get. So yeah, that's the Twitter page right there.
It looks amazing. I mean, it's just,
Thank
you've got
you.
over 5,000 followers already, which I just think is something in itself. That's a pretty great achievement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, is it something, do you find did it pick up quite quickly? How did you start it?
So yeah, I was just talking to a couple of bloggers, and I just created a Facebook group page, but we're actually creating a website later on. And yeah, it just kind of snowballed. We've been doing it for 2 years really, and I think Twitter was one of the key elements to help us like expand. So yeah, kind of like snowballed. I can't really explain it. It's been amazing, really.
I think it's brilliant.
It is, isn't it? It really is. You're obviously really active with it as well. How active, how many hours are you dedicating to it? I mean, you know, obviously to get it to, you know, to get that 5,000, you've got to be dedicated. You're there every Tuesday from 8 to make sure that, you know, that the whole, everything that you've set up is running. How much time are you physically dedicating to it?
Nearly every day, because I've got it connected to my phone, both of my Twitter accounts. I've also got my personal Twitter account at JD_LWIG.
Yeah.
So whenever anyone tweets me, I just respond to them. And plus I work on social media as well, so I'm doing blogging like nearly like, I'll say about 7 hours of the day. So,
do you sleep?
Yeah, I do sleep, weirdly enough. I managed to fit sleep in.
Oh God, you definitely seem like you've got a lot on your hands. Go into your personal blog, the Look What I Got blog. What I see, you've been to London Fashion Week, to the Superdry runway.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was just so amazing. There was Samuel L. Jackson was there. He was there. Proud Look. It was just really a great experience.
Yeah.
It was like the key point of my fashion blogging career.
It looked amazing. I loved your outfit as well.
Oh, thank you.
I'm eyeing up that dress.
It's looking awesome, isn't it? Great colours, great colours. When we're looking at your blog, clearly, you know, this is something that is, and obviously now you started in 2011. You're 3 years on. You're going to the Superdry fashion show. What is the next step for you? What have you got in the pipeline? What are we going to be seeing coming up next?
I want to start a bit more YouTube videos, a little bit of vlogging, so people get to know me a little bit, and creating my own events through the Fashion Beauty Life, like getting people like to have meetups, so more bloggers can interact. So I'm all about building a community and a network. So that's what I'm hoping to do this year, actually.
Amazing.
So fingers crossed.
Amazing. We're all about building communities of beauty crowds, so we'd definitely love to be interested in anything you do with that, and any events. Definitely.
Hook up.
We need to know about them, and we can obviously help you promote it as well through the community. So definitely, perhaps we'll have you back for a meetup announcement, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be really interested in that.
Brilliant.
Now, go on, Ames.
No,
go on. No, I was just going to say, I want to hear about your obsessions with lipstick.
I've got about 65 lipsticks. It's terrible. I love lipsticks. I'm actually on like a ban for Lent, but I don't think that's going to last.
Well, I wanted to ask Buster about this, because obviously Buster being our special guest and our makeup artist in residence tonight, I wanted to ask him about lipstick. You're obviously obsessed with your lipsticks. Have you got a favourite brand, Jess? Have you got a sort of any hints or tips? And we're gonna sort of compare that with Buster's opinion on the lipsticks.
I really can't choose. I'll say Rimmel and Maybelline are my two favourites. I'm always like going to like Boots or Superdrug and picking them up though as well. And Sleek as well. Sleek is my third one. So
Buster.
I can't really think.
Buster, chime in on this one. The lipsticks, say Maybelline, Rimmel, and Sleek. I've not heard of Sleek. Have you heard of Sleek?
Yeah, Sleek's amazing. Sleek's got some really, really cool colours and cheap as chips. I'm a big drugstore makeup fan.
I'm glad you finished on the makeup on the drugstore, because
how many lipsticks have you got in your collection, Buster, off the top of your head?
Top of my head.
How many suitcases full?
250, maybe 300 lip
Oh, Jess is going to be jealous.
This blows my mind.
Jess is jealous. She's got 65, you've got 250, you've just trumped her. You've just trumped her.
Sorry, Jess.
You've got a target now, Jess.
There's a definite benchmark there, isn't there?
Oh, 100%.
Jess, thank you ever so much for just taking the time out to Skype with us now. I'm hoping that we haven't taken time away from you actually sleeping, because I'm hoping that in your busy schedule,
get the hours in while you can.
I know. Thank you so much, and do make sure, as Amy's saying, and I know that you will do, but it sounds like there is a definite hookup needed there, isn't there?
Definitely. Make sure you keep in touch with us, and obviously everybody that's watching, make sure you head over to lookwhatigot.co.uk and follow Jess's blog. It's definitely worth a read.
There's Fash Beauty Life, and also there's Jess's personal, which is at JD_LWIG, if you want to follow her there as well, and of course her blog is Look What I Got. It's good, isn't it?
It's good.
I know. Thank you, Jess, ever so much.
You've been amazing.
We hope to be in touch with you really, really soon, and come back again, Jess, won't you?
I will.
Good.
Definitely.
Thanks ever so much. Have a fantastic night.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Fantastic, Jess there, taking time out to talk to us. But we still got the blogger tonight.
Still got our blogger of the week.
We've got our blogger of the week. We've got Lana, of course, joining us a little bit later on in the show. Now, my goodness, do you know what? I can't. What time are we on? It's 8:30.
It is 8:30.
It is
Where has the
8:30.
night gone? Where has the night gone?
What a fantastic hour and a half we've already had. And it's not over yet. We've still got another half hour to go. So we've still got Lana to see. We've still got questions for Buster. And in fact, I think that's where we're going to go to next, isn't it? So we are going to bombard you with your questions now, Buster, my lovely. And hopefully we'll be able to sort of just answer some of your questions. Fingers crossed we'll be able to. There's a huge amount of questions coming in, aren't there, Amy?
An awful lot. And I'm going to be sifting through them. So if I do miss you, make sure you still get in touch. We'll be doing another round just shortly after this. First of all, I must say, there's an awful lot of love for Buster. A lot of love. And for Naomi, obviously. And the gorgeous lids. Everyone's loving the lids.
Well, we
Hashtag
are...
lids.
Sockets and lids. We are going to have one good last look at Naomi's gorgeous face. Of course, this is the Wearable Editorial look. If you would like, of course, to send in your Wearable Editorials and join us for one of our competitions, we've got 3 tonight, I know. But if you would like to enter, of course, into one of the competitions tonight, please make sure that if you are, of course, tweeting your photos or blogging your photos, of course, send them on Facebook. We need, of course, on Twitter, your hashtag, of course, which is Buster Night on BCTV, so that we can find it. Also, of course, Buster on BCTV. Also, just the hashtag Style Chat as well. We can sort of tie into that as well, can't we?
Style Chat is actually trending on Twitter right now. So if you pop into that, get on that bandwagon using the hashtag Style Chat. Get the word of BCTV out there.
Well, we're going to have one more look at the lovely Naomi's gorgeous face. Have a look at that.
Beautiful.
Looking fantastic. A lot of love for the entire look and for both of you tonight on the on the chat. Thank you to the lovely Naomi. Now, what we are going to do is Naomi's going to disappear like magic, and
that was her.
And then we've got, of course, we've got the lovely Helena, who's going to sit in the hot seat for us. And in case we need an unmade wearable editorial face, freshly unmade, of course, for Buster to be able to show the answers to your questions, we've got a freshly made face. Enter Helena!
Just like that.
There she is. She's there. Buster, we're going to just start bombarding you with questions now, my lovely, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
Ames, take the helm. You've got access to the feed.
I've got all the questions. It is incredible. Now, Kenya is on Twitter. She's in the social stream. She's on Facebook. She's full of questions. She's got loads of them. Okay. So Kenya was one that asked earlier about greasy versus shimmery. So we've gone over that. We know that one. She's also asking, would you ever use false lashes on your bottom lashes?
Do you know what? They actually, you can buy them. You can buy bottom lashes. Eyeliner make them. Liz Evans makes them. You can buy them anyway. If you just Google them, they're really, really quite dramatic. Again, if you're going for a 60s look, they're quite amazing. They are quite difficult to apply. So keep that in mind. Definitely buy a lash applicator tool. You can get them from Amazon, you can get them from Boots or Superdrug, and they'll help you place them. Otherwise, they can end up a bit wonky and make your eyes look a little bit tired.
We don't want that. We don't want tired eyes. Now, Stacey Williams is asking, she's got green eyes and blonde hair. What's the best eyeshadow colours for her?
I mean, the rule is with green eyes, purpley tones bring out the yellow tones, they make the green eyes pop. I believe that you can wear whichever colour you want, but go with the colours that are in your skin. If you've got a lot of pink tones in the skin, don't go for something that's going to clash with that, like a blue. Blue and pink skin tones in the skin are going to really clash, they're going to make you look really, really tired. But play around with colour, like I say, have a look at these different bloggers and different ideas on Instagram. There's so many different makeup artists now that do different looks, and have a play around and see what works for you best, but there's no real rules to makeup. See,
you can do makeup for you. Customise, I think, is the key.
Customise.
Now, we've got Delilah's asking, what are your top tips to build on a foundation without making it look too heavy? So if you had, I know we've already got skin on Helena here, have we? So if we were to freshen this up.
Should we touch it up a little bit?
Let's touch it up.
So, again, I'm using Super Cover. That's already what Helena's got on. We're going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to take a colour that's maybe a quarter of a shade too light for Helena, and we're just going to pop that back in. I think the trick is to keep a couple of colours of foundation. They don't have to be expensive, they don't have to be breaking the bank, but if you literally keep a couple of colours, foundation oxidise, so what that means is that they get a little bit darker while you wear them throughout the day. So if you keep a colour, maybe your winter shade, or a colour that's a little bit too light for you, if you go in to re-top up throughout the day, this is a great way of just bringing the skin back to life without adding too much powder, lots of different products, or the same foundation over and over again. This is a great way of building, but without caking. And
you know what?
see.
That's like transformational for me. You know, because honestly, when you're starting out with the basics, unless to think about using different tone foundation on my face, I've just always just gone straight on.
Yeah, this is my colour, that's it.
That's fantastic.
Most women have like 2 or 3 colours of foundation at home, because generally they get warmer in the summer, they get lighter in the winter, they have a favourite foundation but it wasn't quite the right shade, so they've left it in the drawer, they'll never use it again. This is a great way of using all of those shades. Darker you can use into the hairline, almost like a bronzer, under the cheekbones to really cut the cheek. Lighter you can use in the centre of the face, bring light back. It's almost like a free contour. It's amazing.
Helena, does it feel nice and light?
Yeah, I can hardly feel like I've got anything extra on.
Lovely. It looks great. Looks great.
Very refreshed.
Hope that helped.
Definitely. Now, I don't know who this is from. This is from Facebook, and they're asking, if Buster, if you had a choice, would you choose a statement lip or a statement eye?
Hi Facebook, firstly. Hi Facebook.
Facebook are asking this question.
Generally, again, it depends on the person. I wouldn't wear it myself, so I can be a little bit more picky. I think it depends on what you're doing, what you're going for, time of year. I really love a bold, strong, almost kind of ice cream shade lip in the summertime with a nude eye. In the wintertime, I like to really play up the eyes and almost go with a nude lip. It really depends on who, when, where and what, but pick it with your outfit as well.
Would you ever do both?
It is done. You see on campaigns like NARS nowadays that the eye and the lip is very, very good together. But again, different for editorial to everyday wear. I would say maybe just slightly tone down the eyes if you're going to do a really bold lip, or slightly soften the lip with a gloss if you're going to play up the eyes.
Brilliant. Fab. Now, one last question, and we've got, if I want my makeup to look peachy, this is from Kenya again, should I use an orange lipstick, eyeshadow or blush? Because I don't want orange everything. So if you're going for a peachy look, which one?
Why not use your lipstick for all 3? Take a little bit of the peach lipstick, blend it into your blusher, a little bit on the lip, really, really soft, and maybe take a little bit and just pat it into the centre of the eye, soften it with a translucent powder, and you've got a uniform look, and it won't look over the top. And it will save you a lot of money because it's one
Cheap
product.
as chips as well.
In
like
fact,
that.
the e.l.f. one, Party in the Buff, that I used earlier, amazing, perfect for that.
Wonderful.
Brilliant.
We love a bit of dual usage.
We do.
Multi-usage.
Multi-usage.
Size and cheap.
Hashtag multi-use.
These austere times. It is ideal, isn't it?
We love it. We
Fab.
love it.
There are more questions. There are loads more questions. We haven't forgotten about you. Don't panic, honestly. But we cannot also forget about our blogger of the week, and that is Lana. Now, very, very quickly, before we bring Lana in, and don't panic, Buster will be back with Helena so that we can show you some more. We know the love for Buster is coming in, so don't panic, he's not done, he's not dusted. But, of course, we do need to remind you about our 3 fantastic competitions tonight.
Indeed.
And on the other side of this, we will be Skyping with our blogger of the week, the lovely Lana. Lovely to be with you here tonight. We're having such a jam-packed show, and time is literally running away with us, isn't it, Amy?
It is.
Thank you to everybody at the social stream, everybody. A big shout out to everybody who has been involved in the show tonight. Your comments, your interaction, it's been fantastic.
It's been brilliant.
And it's not over yet, so don't worry. We, of course, are hooking up with our blogger of the week, Lana, on Skype, and it will be lovely to introduce you to her as well. You may already follow her blog. There she is, the gorgeous Lana. Hi, Lana. Good evening. How are you, my lovely?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much for having me as your blogger of the week this week.
Oh, you're welcome. Congratulations.
We have been loving looking at your blog this week, haven't we?
We have. It's such a gorgeous blog, I have to say. We were all like, it's just lovely to look at.
It's lovely to read. It's effortless. It's great. And I've got to say, there was an instant affiliation there, because as soon as I saw that your review was on the Puffy the Eye Bag Slayer, your latest review, I was absolutely over the moon. That's my ultimate favourite programme of all time. And I was just thinking, what a brilliant play on words. We want to know what you thought about it, because I think that's one of the biggest requests that you have through, isn't it? Is how to reduce the under eye bags. How did you find them?
I struggle with eye bags constantly. It's one of my things that I'm constantly trying to find new products to try and reduce the eye bags. Obviously, working in front of the computer all the time, it's one of my biggest problems. That product, I thought it was good. I thought it's a brilliant product that you can kind of just put onto your eyes half an hour before you go out somewhere, or you have a meeting, or you kind of need to look fresh and awake. But it wasn't.
It's not miracle,
is it? It wasn't
is
as effective as I expected to be, I think.
Was the name
and
better
there was a
than
lot
the product?
of contouring going on and a lot of highlighting as well after that. So
Unfortunately, it's not that miracle then that we're all looking for.
no, so we're all still on the lookout. So I mean, that's quite exciting, because then I get to hopefully try out some more products in that area and keep looking for that one, the one.
The one. It's all important, the one.
Absolutely. All the details, if you would like to, of course, follow Lana, are on your screen. Of course, it's at Fashion Fake on Twitter, and her blogspot is there as well. Lana, we've been reading your blog here at BCTV during the week, and how did you get into it? Why did you start it? What really got you motivated to get started on this?
I was always kind of inspired by bloggers, especially street style bloggers. So I always followed the fashion blogs, and through that I got into beauty, started reading some of the reviews, and found that was probably the best way to discover new products. And after about a year of following some of my favorite bloggers like Ghost Parties, I just thought, why not give it a go? And because I seem to have a lot of things that I want to talk about, especially in the beauty and fashion department, I just started it and thought, maybe this could go somewhere, maybe not. And I think it was the blogging community really that pulled me in, and this is why I'm still here and still blogging every day.
You're very open and very honest as well, I think, in your blog. And I think that we've been talking about accessible bloggers, haven't we, this week? We've been talking about how, when you're reading something, you want to feel that they are accessible, you want to feel that they're real, and you're incredibly open and honest within your blog. Is that something that you feel that just comes naturally? Are you someone that kind of wears your heart on your sleeve anyway? Or is that something that you wanted to come out in your blog?
I think it just happened really naturally. A lot of the things that I talk about on my blog, I hope that people can relate to, and this is something that I wanted to try and do a little bit more this year, is actually talk a little bit more about lifestyle and about personal issues, I guess, if you could call them that. And I found that the response from my first blog post on lifestyle was so successful, you know, so many people actually enjoyed reading it, that I thought, wow, people actually, you know, want to listen to what I've got to say. So I'm trying to do that a little bit more on my blog, and hopefully, you know, some people who might have the same issues as I'm having in their life might find it a little bit better, that, you know, they're not alone. Somebody else is out there.
I think that it's well, certainly from our perspective, because obviously the huge amount of blogs that we're obviously reading, it does come across, and again, it's one of the reasons why we've made Lana Blogger of the Week, isn't it, basically, because we just felt that it was incredibly transparent and really accessible.
And that's the thing, it just generally felt to us that it was a very natural blog, and you kind of really got a feeling for you as a person, which is kind of what I look for in bloggers. You kind of want to feel like you're having a chat. And you
want to trust their review as well. So, and I think that's very, very true when you read in Lana's blog. Is that so?
Oh, thank you.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Not that we want to get too deep and personal here. We'll kind of veer away from that, and we'll go to your style. We're loving it.
Loving it.
We are loving
Absolutely
it.
Loving it.
Could you, and I know that you're sat at your PC screen at the minute, could you just take a step back and just show us what you're wearing tonight, if you don't mind?
Sure.
We would
love. Right,
we'd like to see. We like to see your style. That's all. You've got a very individual, very unique kind of, carefree, effortless kind of style going on. It looks as, you know, again, like we were saying about Patricia, looks as if she could wear a bag.
You could. You're wearing it. Look, you are wearing it. The clothes are not wearing you. That's for sure.
So at the moment, I'm loving the whole kind of boho 70s look. So I'm trying to incorporate that in what I wear, and I think it just comes so easily to me because I love the whole 70s era. So today I've got on my River Island. Oh, I'll just show you here. Kind of almost like, I don't know what it is.
It's almost like it's like a little bit like a stroke between a caftan and a little bit of a
vest.
Maybe like a hybrid. That's there, and I've got my tribal necklace, which is from Ciliana.com. I absolutely love their jewellery. It's so affordable, and they just have the most unique designs. And I've got my little Topshop top, which is a summery top, which is, I'm just so excited for summer to happen now. So yeah, I'll put all my sweaters away, and we're bringing out the cotton sleeves. And to finish off, I've just got a pair of little leggings there.
Very nice.
It's quite a vintage look. I know that you're saying that obviously you've been to kind of like the high street shops to buy the look that you're wearing tonight. What about the vintage look? Where would you kind of, for that kind of vintage inspired look, where is it that you would sort of maybe, you know, guide people to kind of really kind of look for the vintage look?
I'd suggest that everybody go to Bath. I lived in Bath for a little while, and they have the best charity and vintage shops. The stuff that you find there is absolutely incredible, and it's authentic, and again, it's affordable for what it is. So the faux fur coats from the 70s and the different fedora hats, I mean, it's just amazing. There's so many shops. So definitely Bath. I know that London's a great destination for vintage, but you know, if you're not there, then try Bath. I rate it highly.
Fabulous. We obviously, looking at your style, looking at what you've got on tonight, it's kind of, you're rocking that kind of, and it's early days yet, but obviously, you know, festival season will be upon us anytime soon. You're kind of rocking that look already. Any advice, any tips on if people have already got their tickets for music festival season coming up, where you would advise, of course, sort of viewers tonight to maybe head off to find a little bit of a kind of festival look?
With festivals, I just don't understand one thing. It's when people spend a lot of money on clothes to go to festivals, because from listening to stories and experience, you just kind of think it's going to get ruined. So, you know, grab you a pair of wellies from Primark, probably your denim shorts from Topshop, and head out to a vintage store to find a t-shirt with, you know, the 70s rock band on it, and you're done. There's no point spending a lot of money on something that, you know, that is going to get covered in mud, and you just want something easy really to wear.
Be comfortable, enjoy the festival.
And not break the bank in doing it as well. Lana, thank you ever so much for joining us tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure. Lana is our blogger of the week, and of course all the details are on your screen right now if you want to follow her, of course, on Twitter, or of course visit her blog. And again, I loved the blog on the oils.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, the one that you got to melt sounds amazing. I know you only gave it 9 out of 10, but it sounds. I want to smell it. I want to put it on myself. Just the way that you described it, it was absolutely awesome.
The smell was delicious, but you know what? The one mark that I took off it is purely because you had to melt it, and I'm a person who likes things literally like that. So I just wanted to have it.
Well, thank you ever so much for being with us tonight. I hope that in the future we'll be able to have you back on as well, Lana. It's been great, hasn't
Definitely, I'd love that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Brilliant. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. The lovely Lana there, our blog of the week. Wasn't she fab?
She was fab, looking gorgeous. I don't look like that.
Do you know what? Effortless.
Well, even
everybody,
now.
all of our bloggers tonight. Patricia, of course, who we gave a shout out to, looking effortless. Jess looking immaculate. Fabulous. And of course, then the lovely Lana. So thank you to all our bloggers, and thank you specifically to Jess, and of course to Lana for Skyping in with us tonight and taking time out of their very, very busy schedules.
Running communities and all sorts.
to do that, yeah, definitely. Now, of course, as you know, we are running 3 competitions tonight. So, oh my goodness me, it's just jam-packed. But before, of course, we tell you a little bit more about our competitions, we've got to make sure that our guest of honour tonight, the fantastic Buster Knight, is, of course, addressing your questions. They are coming in thick and fast. Shall we go straight back over to Buster and make sure that everybody gets as many questions answered as they possibly can? Buster, are you up for that, hun?
I'm up for it.
He is up for it. He's ready. Okay, let's fire some questions at him.
We've got the inevitable desert island question. It's always gonna rear its head. So if you had, Ali's asking if you had one product to take with you if you were stranded on a desert island, which one would it be?
Personally, for me, I would use a good moisturizer. I don't wear makeup, so it would be something that just keeps my skin really refreshed. If I was on a desert island with a client, it would probably be a good set of false lashes. They can change a look, and if you're going to die on a desert island, you may as well die looking fabulous, right?
There's another hashtag there.
Hashtag die fabulous.
Oh, dear me. All right, we've got, Lisa was also asking, what is your most used product? So either for yourself, if it's your moisturizer, or on your clients, which is it?
Most used product, I would probably say, is bronzer. I've got a ton of different ones, sparkly, matte, different colours, different tones, but bronzer is generally the one product that can make the skin just look healthy and sun-kissed, whether it's a really soft pale complexion or a really dark ebony complexion. You can use a bronzer to work in so many different ways.
Bronzer is your friend. Fabulous. Now this question is coming from our own Claire, from our customer service manager. She's asking, what is your view on the trend for very large, bold eyebrows? What is your view? Be honest, be candid.
You saw my eyebrow earlier. I really like a natural brow, whether it's someone like Cara Delevingne who's got a really intense, thicker brow, or it's someone down the line like Roxanne Palette. She's got a really nice defined groomed brow. They work for different people, but I would just say keep it more natural. You can use a lot of pencil and a lot of colour, but you can make it look really, really natural and fresh. I don't like to see a really penciled on, almost felt tipped eyebrow. It generally just doesn't frame the face well.
Just keep it.
Can I ask a question? Can I chip in here? Can I?
You can tweet.
I can tweet.
Twitter.
Come on.
I'll get my phone out and wait.
There's got to be a perk here. Lighter or darker if you are penciling in?
Ooh, a very, very influential makeup artist once said to me, go one shade lighter than the client's brow. And I haven't looked back. I don't even own a black eyebrow pencil, so even if the client's got black hair, I would never use a black pencil. The darker the brow, the more intense, especially in a photograph, it will just throw back the colour. So if you're like a soft brunette, use a blonde. If you're a deeper brunette, use like an ashy blonde. If you're grey, go for the lightest pencil you can get. If you're auburn, use a really soft brown. And that's why I love the Dior pencil that I used earlier, because it literally does work for everybody.
Sounds fabulous. I'm already eyeing up that Dior pencil in my hand.
I know. I'm already logged in, and it's in my basket.
It's in my basket.
I'm
in the place. I'm in the place. Kenya's asking, what is the most outrageous makeup look that you've ever done?
Ooh, we've created a few. I remember a very long time ago, I'd done a real big editorial. It was for menswear. and we used Tipp-Ex on the eyelids, the poor models. I'm sorry if you're watching. But yeah, they wanted a really intense white eye. The liners just weren't cutting it in for the photos. So the stylist got Tipp-Ex out and forced us to use Tipp-Ex. So that was probably the worst. The best, most outrageous look that I've done was probably for Halloween. I was over in Canada and we created scary clown looks, and you can actually see them on my Twitter and my Instagram. You'll see some images on there as well.
I don't know whether I want to look at that.
It's a little. It's
clown makeup makes me naturally just go, all right, they're scared. It's fine.
While we've got Helena with us, if it's all right, I know that one of the biggest things that we get requests for all the time is about the winged look for eyes. Would you mind just demonstrating? Now, I've got a fear of any form of liquid liner. I stay away from it. I don't use it, and eyes are the bane of my life. Show us how to do it.
Okie dokie. So liquid liners come in all shapes or forms. I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. They come in pen form, they come in a pot form, they come in gel, they come in mousse. There's so many different things for all different people, all different eyes. And what I would say is don't break the bank, don't go out and spend a fortune, but generally with eyeliner, a little bit more expensive does work better. I've gone for Laura Mercier. This retails for about £17, but I've had it in my kit for about a year and it will probably last me for a good another year or so. The brush is from Crown Brush and it's just a fine point liner. There's a lot to take into account when you're doing a winged liner. And the first thing is you want to make the eyes look lifted and more beautiful. I see lots of Cleopatras on the tube when I'm in London where the eyeliner literally points downwards. That's doing nobody any favours. So the best way to find out the right shape for you is to bring your mirror above yourself and look up into the mirror. So if you look up for me, we basically want to trace the bottom lash line. So what I'm going to do is literally just draw a line in that would trace the bottom lash line. Don't worry if, like me, you make a little mistake. You can literally clean it up. But you can see then, when you look directly into the camera...
Would you be able to use the other eye just for the camera?
Yeah, of course, sorry.
Thank you.
So again, look up for me. You're going to follow the bottom lash line and create your line. So you're basically following that bottom lash line. So when you look directly into the camera, you can see that that's going to be the right shape to make the eye look more beautiful. So that's your bottom line, that's the hard bit done. Then, if you look down for me, we're going to use that bottom line and we're almost going to trace the top back into the eyelid and fill it in.
My issue with liner is matching. That's
getting both sides.
Getting them both the same. But I guess if you go in from your lower lash line...
Yeah, if you map both of the lines out on your eye first, so if you do both the bottom lines first, you can match if they're right and then just go in and fill in. It saves all of that hard work.
Yeah.
Look.
Mine is just full stop starting it. So this is, and I know that this is one of the biggest requests, and I know that certain makeup artists do it in a different way, but then I think if we get as many of the experts in as obviously that you're getting in, to be able to find a way that works for you personally, you know, whatever happens, the hints and tips that we get with our experts, it means that, you know, you're going to find a way eventually that is going to make sure that, you know, you've got that perfect winged look. It does look fantastic. It's very effective.
Everybody's got their own way of doing a liner, and there's no right or wrong answer. I've just found this way really helps me. But generally it can be different for everybody, and it's about, look down for me, it's about practicing. Practice generally does make perfect. One other thing I want to cover as well, if you, like me or your model or yourself, look down for me, have a print like this, best way to get rid of it is to use a non-oil-free eye makeup remover, dab it away, and then take either your concealer or a cream or a powder in your skin tone. I again am going to use Painterly from MAC, which I have lost, with a Q-tip. So instead of using a brush, literally go back in and warm that through. Let your eyeliner set. Sometimes you have to keep your eye closed for a minute because they do tend to print just a little bit. But you'll see, if you look into the camera again for me, that eyeliner is really making the eye look a nicer shape. It's really lifting up and creating more of that almond eye, which is what a liquid liner should do. So that's my tip. Start underneath, create the line that you want and draw it back in on itself.
Fantastic.
Gorgeous.
Thank you for that. That is going to be something that I will be watching on repeat.
Perhaps we'll cut it for you and then you can just put it on, Lou.
Just have it on my phone. Just replay it all the time. We have had, of course, your competition entries coming in, of course, for Buster on BCTV. And a lot of you have been sending in your wearable editorials as well. Keep them coming. Now, have we got, Neil, have we got the photos? Are we able to bring them
lined up?
Okay, so there's the lovely Lisa.
Looking gorgeous.
She's, of course, a previous guest on BCTV, and she's gone really into detail. I love the two-faced chocolate Solaire bronzer she's put in there as well. Thank you, Lisa. You're, of course, entered into the competition. I know that we've got quite a few coming through as well, which is great to see, isn't it?
A lot amount. We can also take a look at Jessie.
Oh, let's have a look at Jessie's.
Let's have a look. Oh,
that's all right. That's okay.
We're too quick for the Baron.
Very glam there, Jessie.
Very
I'm loving the
glam.
eyes. Don't they look gorgeous?
It's the winged liner.
Looking lovely. Great brows.
Good brows. See, that's
There
what
is
you
a
look at
theme.
now. See?
There is a theme. There definitely is. And of course, if you want to be entered into the competition, there's 3 competitions this week. So, and we'll be running the graphics again for you so that you know exactly what's going on before the end of the show, which we are nearing. So, if there are any more last-minute questions coming through that we can bombard the lovely Buster with before the end of the show,
There's just a lot of love coming through.
there is a lot of love.
For both.
Somebody signed off. Thank you, handsome.
Thank you, handsome fella.
Thank you, handsome fella.
Handsome fella. lot of love. People are just saying, yeah, they actually, in response to your Tipex brow situation, we've got Lisa Prince admitting that she once painted her husband's face with nail polish. And now I wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
No. I think that's a sort of burning sensation, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder what he did to deserve it, but yeah.
Buster, before we sign off for tonight, is there any sort of major hints or tips, something that really is essential to you that you want to maybe share with us and our viewers tonight before we sign off? Because I know that you've got a lot of words of wisdom.
I say if it's for yourself, know your face. So don't be afraid to experiment and try different things out. Find out what's best for you. There's no wrong in makeup. It's all about expressing yourself and having fun and enjoying it. And if you are a budding makeup artist and you're looking to work on other people, practice makes perfect. Photograph everything you do and look back on it, because you'll look back and you'll think, yeah, I'm going to try that one again, or never doing that one again. That was a big mistake and I need to learn from it. We never stop learning as artists or as people. So I generally think keep going, keep strong. And I want to see all of your amazing pictures. So keep the hashtags coming in as well.
Amazing. Words of wisdom.
Brilliant. See, we knew that there would be. We knew that there would be. Okay,
Amazing.
We've been running 3 competitions as well tonight. That is how generous BCTV are. And 3 competitions, of course, with fantastic gifts. Check out this little video clip, of course, which is going to tell you all about, of course, the 3 competitions tonight. Loads of you are entering. That looks amazing. We'll talk about that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We're back with you in a couple of seconds to say a big thanks to Buster and to sign off for the night. Lots of gorgeous giveaways. Make sure you've entered all 3 competitions. They're unmissable, aren't they?
They are. We've had so many entries of the wearable editorial so far, and I can report that Celtic herbal skincare products are the most tweeted out link from beautycrowd.com
fantastic.
at the moment. So
Fantastic.
people are loving a bit of skincare, homemade skincare. Fabulous. If you don't want to wait and see if you win, you can obviously buy everything direct on the Beauty Crowd website. So make sure pop over, treat yourself to a bit of handmade soap.
Yeah, see, and smelling good.
Smelling
good. And a little bit of Cymraeg there as well. A little bit of Welsh for you. A little bit of Welsh from, of course, Pembrokeshire. Thanks for letting me be a part of the BCTV tonight. I do hope that I'm going to see you again. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to Buster and, of course, to our models, Naomi and to Helena tonight as well. Buster, what can I say? Absolutely just stunning, mate. Thank you ever so much.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Now, we really look forward as well to seeing, of course, the projects. Very exciting projects. Keep your eyes peeled. He is the feature makeup artist on a number of very well-known magazines over the next couple of months, and of course keep an eye out for him on his Instagram, on Twitter, and of course on his webpage for a little bit more news. But Buster, we really appreciate it. You've been awesome. Thank you to Helena, and thank you to Naomi. Thank you to the team for tonight as well. Thank you to the fantastic Amy, Beauty Baron and Gary in the Cube.
Keeping it going in the
They
Cube.
have been here. Thank you to you. Thank you on the stream, of course, the chat stream tonight. Thank you if you've been part of Twitter, if you have been part of Facebook, if you've been part of any of tonight's show. Thank you ever so much indeed. We look forward to seeing you again. I know that BCTV are up and running with you tomorrow night. I unfortunately can't be with you tomorrow night, but I hope to be back with you, fingers crossed, in a little while. I'm not banking on too much. Anyway, it has been an absolute pleasure to be with you tonight. Thank you ever so much for letting me be with you. From all of us here at BCTV, mwah, no star.
Good night.